Hey guys, today I'm here with Kevin Don.
And this is FSM RX.
So hey guys, we're here with Kevin Don, and Kevin's been traveling all over the world doing deadlift workshops in all different CrossFits, and he's hosting them for free, and he's been helping a lot of people improve on their deadlift. And Kevin's kind enough come down to FSM, and he did 2 workshops last night with our guys, and we've had a great time. And we go ham or we go home is the new motto now at FSM. So Kevin, thanks for being on the show.
Okay, thanks for having me, Stephen.
So Kevin, You've worked with, if anyone's been on your blog, which the link will be below for his blog, Instagram and stuff like that, you've worked with the likes of Jason Khalipa and some of the kind of top CrossFit fitters and CrossFit owners. How did that all come about for you?
Well, first of all, I was having an affiliate out in Asia, in Hong Kong, and I really got in touch with Jason because he's my personal hero, and I was following him on YouTube and everywhere he was, really doing a bit of kind of a man crush thing, I guess. And I was in contact with him because I saw one of his videos actually where the NorCal guys went out to Kenya and they built a school as part of charity, and I actually went to school in Kenya. So I thought it was a really awesome thing because I saw firsthand poverty and things like that. And we made contact because I wanted to congratulate him on what I thought was an awesome thing. And I thought that maybe if he did something like this in the future, that we could work something together. At that time, he started talking to me about he was going to do some projects with Hitachi storage technologies in the Asia region. And I really wanted to get better at doing CrossFit too. So I literally flew out to San Jose and went there to train, and I met Jason, and I was super lucky that I managed to do some coaches development stuff there with Pat Barber and meet all those guys who are super inspiring.
Cool. And then you affiliates and checking out how they're running and stuff like that, and then you ended up kind of working there a little bit more.
That's right. So I went in to do some. I visited some gyms there, and it was really, because there's going to be some local places opening up, and I just try to make contact with the coaches that are there and try and figure out, what the level was and whether or not they would send in coaches from US or externally, or whether there was people on the ground, because it's difficult in Asia because it's such a new territory for CrossFit. And then after that I went back again to NorCal, stayed for a longer period of time. I was very lucky to be able to go and actually coach classes together with Jason at some point, which was amazing to see him coaching and how inspirational he was in a class environment. And then after that I returned back to Asia again and was in the southern part of China.
One of the things, before we get on to about obviously what you're doing now, one of the things that you brought up with our guys yesterday, we had a conversation last night about it, is programming. And don't be too kind of stuck up regarding programming for CrossFit. If you're not going to the games, is kind of like what you're saying. If you're not going to the games, don't stress too much about it. Don't overcomplicate your programming. So for you, do you find that there's a lot of kind of CrossFit owners, and it wouldn't necessarily just be in CrossFit, being on any functional fitness gym, that they're trying to crush their members? They're trying to how hard can I push you is the kind of key, rather than let's kind of just have some fun with it, get fit, have fun kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky in that because of what I'm doing with this traveling thing, and prior to that, out in Asia, was that I've been in a lot of affiliates. I've seen a lot of amazing coaches, I've seen a lot of just average coaches, and I've seen some bad ones. And I think the thing that strikes me is that a lot of coaches, that especially the more inexperienced ones that are just coming in, is that they take, watching the CrossFit Games or watching regionals or going and watching Invictus or something like that, for example, and they're taking that as the benchmark of where they need to be. And I don't personally think that, if we're in, some kind of suburban setting or some kind of farming community or mining community, I don't really think that we need to be programming, thinking about those people having that level of ambition. They just need to get moving and they need to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the most important thing for me about CrossFit and why I liked it at the beginning was GPP. A lot of times now you go to a CrossFit gym, there's no GPP happening, right? It really is Olympic weightlifting with a high work capacity.
Yeah. Well, that's I definitely resonates with a lot of people that I know and I kind of work with, and over programming and trying to be the specialist, and at the end of the day 90% or 98% of your clients are the average working Joe, comes into your gym, wants to look good, look better, feel healthier, is not concerned about competing, and like the 1 or 2% that are concerned, that's a different ballgame. But you can't hang your gym's program on the 2 guys that could compete or could get to regionals or could win a competition.
That's
And
right.
they need to be the elites need to be isolated, and then make sure that your community is still the number one. And for business purposes, and I'm sure obviously you've working with in Hong Kong and working with Jason, I'm sure that's kind of a feel that he wants, like, to build a company. It's not about crushing them and making elite athletes, it's about creating community.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most important things I heard him say to me was just to make sure that people have fun.
Yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the workout is that they're doing. As long as they have fun doing it, they're going to come back again.
Yeah.
If you could put the best programming in the world down, but if they don't enjoy doing it, they're not going to keep coming back, and therefore they're not really going to have any change to their physicality, their mental health, and their well-being.
Yeah.
One thing as well, I think, is like, one of the things they taught in the CrossFit Level 2, or it was called Coaches Prep before, is that pitfalls in programming, one of the major ones that affiliate owners make is to program what they want to do.
Yeah.
And if you're really passionate, I mean, I'm really passionate about doing strongman and doing deadlifting, for example, but that doesn't mean that I would program those movements every day, because I know that my athletes need to do a GPP program. I need to put in some gymnastics, I need to put in some Metcon stuff, right? So it's important that you think about a holistic program and think about the reasons why people have walked in the door. It'd be very, very unlikely in any CrossFit box in the world that someone walked in the door and said, hey, I'd love to be here to drill my snatch technique to death, right? They're going to walk in the door and they're probably going to say they want to lose weight or, just improve fitness, general well-being, or maybe build some lean muscle mass. They're not into drill technique all the time.
Well, one of the things that I found, and I've come to with our, especially with our fundamentals, when we ask them their goals, and we bring it all back. So it's like, well, I want to, and generally people, in my opinion, will tell me what they think I want to hear, not what they actually want, because they're still not sure.
Yes.
But it'll come back to, I want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? To feel better. Why do you want to feel better? And you always get back to in my opinion, 2 goals. Look good naked is generally one of them, because I don't know anyone that doesn't want to look good naked. And 2 is to be happy.
Yeah.
And as you said, make it fun. And if you have fun, you're happy, you've enjoyed something, you're more willing to come back. And then going back to programming, as you said, you explained the way Jason, who is like one of the highest level CrossFitters, how he trains, and I don't know anyone that does that. What he does, and that's crazy level of training. You're selling, you actually don't know what's going on in CrossFit if you think you're going to get to the games by just doing hero wads or doing 1 hour of training or 2 hours of training a day, because what you were telling me, from 5 o'clock right up to lunchtime, this guy's machining it.
The work capacity that he has is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's up in the morning, and I mean, he's not unique in this. I mean, there's other guys there like Neil Maddox too, and they're up in the morning, they're at the track, they're running, they're doing intervals, sprints, all sorts of stuff there. And they've got time set aside where they're doing weightlifting together, and they're doing gymnastics, and then in the afternoon, he's coming down, and then the rest of the NC crew are throwing down together and doing WODs. The work capacity is incredible, and they're just so gifted. Yeah. And the thing is, I think one of the problems with social media and the freedom of information is that regular Joe can access this information. And I think it's really great to be inspired.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at someone like him and I'm completely awe-inspired. But then you have to ground yourself and say, I really can't be training this way because he's gifted.
Yeah.
And you know, not only is he gifted, obviously he's training super hard, but you know, most people don't have, you know, the time to put into that, their jobs and their families and so on and so forth too. So I think it's important that people just, you know, try to ground themselves a bit, and you have to trust the coach's programming in your own gym.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really a believer in people getting programs from other boxes and bringing it in, and at the same time a class is going on, doing your own WOD at the back. Just follow the boxes programming, because the coach there knows you. You know, you could go and get a programming from somewhere else overseas, but that person doesn't really know you and they don't know what you need.
Yeah, that's like if someone comes to FSM, they train under our tutelage. Like, that's why you come through the door generally, is to be coached by one of our coaches. To come in and go, oh, I want to train here, but I have this program I want to do. I was like, no, it's not really going to work. Why? Because you just go to their gym or go to somewhere that allows that. But we have because if you start isolating, you become a global gym or an elitist gym, and then you've got the elitist section in your gym, and other members get a little bit annoyed and a little bit insecure, especially with new guys. Oh, you can't go over there because that's where the top guys train, and I don't really go for that personally. But yeah, it's like, as you said, like, it's kind of the coach that's generally working with you, let's say 85-90% of the time, has an understanding of what they're doing, and pretty much any GPP program will benefit 95% of any clients that come through your door.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10. So you've worked with some of the best, you've trained, you've seen how they train, which is awesome, and you then decided you're traveling the world, you're doing deadlift workshops. It's kind of, for you, it's a bit of your niche, is teaching deadlifting, because you love it so much, strongman stuff. Like, I can tell you, for guys, like, I love deadlifting, one of my favorite lifts. I learned so much last night watching this guy teach just simple techniques that, one, I might have been told but forgot, and just through teaching it too much, forget. But seeing my clients, our members, activate their hamstrings better, grab the bar better, their approach is better, and just their understanding is brilliant. And I'm not ashamed to say that, like, I've missed out on a few things, but now, obviously, after last night, we go ham or go home.
That's it.
That's the so, and all the guys, and even Coach Sarah came and she was working on her deadlift this morning, even though she couldn't sit in the toilet, and she'll love me for saying that on YouTube. So when you decided to do that, what was behind it? Like, what kind of was just like, right, I'm just gonna go hobo and travel the world?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, what I was doing, you know, like, I finished up, I had an affiliate in Hong Kong, that finished up, you know, the things that I was trying to help out NorCal with in the southern China, that kind of finished up. And, you know, first thing that happened next was that I was hired to go into, I would say, what I would call a global CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
You know, a very huge affiliate, thousands of members and lots of money, and as a consultant there. And really, I didn't find it to be nourishing to me as a coach. I mean, I always try to describe, it may sound a bit weird myself, as coaching, I feel like an energy vampire. I feel that when I coach classes, I give them some information, but they also give me back something, which is some kind of positive energy.
Yeah.
And I found that a lot of times these really big affiliates, what happens is that a member just arrives, does the workout, doesn't interact with anyone, and then leaves because they got to get back to the office or whatever they're doing. Tends to be in like downtown areas, so people are either rushing home or rushing back to work.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like it, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to experience community. And I also think that smaller boxes have more to gain by having someone in that has a lot of experience, because they might not have had the chance to travel to America and visit these super cool places. So I wanted to travel around and experience for myself firsthand what the CrossFit community is, and also feel like I can give something back, because I mean, I feel I've had so much given to me by doing this sport, but by the same token, I know that those smaller gyms, unlike the commercial ones, cannot afford to pay me. So I decided that I was going to do free seminars, and that's how I started.
Free. Yeah. So you've been all over. You've been into like obviously the States and Asia. You just finished up in England and Scotland. You're in Ireland. You were in CrossFit MCI, FSM last night, and now you're back up the north.
Yeah, I'm going
80,
to 80-20.
80-20.
CrossFit Powerful, and then Resplendent.
Yeah. So if you see it, this won't be out till next week, so you're not going to see this.
If you want me to come back to Ireland.
if you won't get able to come back to Ireland, we'll organise it. But yeah, so the community aspect, as you were saying, is cool, and we had some good conversations yesterday and this morning about the community and CrossFit, and there's kind of a wayward aspect where people are the community is getting lost a little bit, and I totally agree with that. I think there's elements, there's the kind of fragmentation happening in CrossFit, and with something so big, it was bound to happen. A kind of an online community, but in person it's not there, kind of thing. And what you're doing is kind of helping to, well, what I would find is that if someone said, oh, do you want to come and train in my gym? Why would you let him train in your gym? What if everyone wants to go and train with him then? I was like, well, then I was doing something wrong. I got to put my hand, it's like, I'm willing to take that chance of you coming down and educating my clients, and then they all go, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Like, I'm comfortable in how I teach, and I'm willing to learn more. But I find that a lot of CrossFitters tend to want to isolate.
That's right.
They're afraid that they'll lose their clients. You got to keep them nice.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that people are have opened a CrossFit gym generally because they're trying to run a business. They're not going to run anything at a loss. But then I think it's really important that people do communicate with each other and be open and be willing to build a community, because isolating your athletes and trying to keep them all to yourself will never work.
Yeah.
It won't work, because over time people become so passionate about CrossFit and so self-aware. And the first step is that, they'll go on holiday somewhere, or maybe take a business trip, and they will go and find a CrossFit gym on holiday. So they are going to go to another box anyway. And they will experience other coaching. So you can't try to hide them in your box and only expose them to your methods. It's not going to last. So just be open and have fun.
So after Ireland, you're off to Sweden.
That's right. Yeah.
And then back to the States for some strongman stuff.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go over to Derek Poundstone, who was second in the world's strongest man, 4 times America's strongest man. So he has a great facility called Poundstone Performance in Connecticut, and he has Ed Cohen, who's the best powerlifter of all time, is going to be there. Yeah. So I'm going over there because although I'm going around and teaching deadlift, Ed Cohen is the best deadlifter of all time, right? So I'm going to go and train with Ed Cohen, because you never ever stop learning. And I might come back and I might have completely changed what I'm teaching in terms of the deadlift. Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah. Because you have to constantly be evolving and getting better.
So. That's a valid point. And like I said, Kevin came here and I learned a lot from Kevin last night. And Kevin's going over to learn more from another guy. And as you said, it could change everything. And how your approach, how you're set up, and everything could change. But it is okay. Once you're doing it, if you're getting stronger, you're keeping people healthy, you're keeping people safe. Well, that's absolutely fine. So for guys, you also have a blog, Kev, the Pied Piper of CrossFit at WordPress.com.
That's right.
Again, the link will be below. Kevin is traveling the world. If you get the opportunity to see him when you see this, follow him on Facebook, Instagram, tag him, because he's not good at this stuff, social media stuff. So you have to actively go get him, and then he'll get back to you. Check him out, and then if you see him, make sure you buy one of his cool tops. So go home and go home. Kev, thanks for being on the show.
All right, thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no
thanks
problem.
for having me. Cool.
Hey guys, don't forget to jump over to our website, crossfitfsm.ie, and download your free Rogue Nutrition ebook. And also, keep track of our blog, as we've got more upcoming interviews with great coaches and athletes coming your way.